So where are the men? Where do y'all hang out? If you don't go to coffee shops? I'm so tired of like going to a bar or like go to different events and they're like 90% of the ladies and only 3 men hang out in the corner. Do you guys just not leave the house or like go outside? Yeah, I would love to stop using all the dating apps that are just not working anymore and start meeting people in real life organically. But where do men usually hang out? I feel like I've been looking at the wrong places. So let me know in the comments.
Think men that have just gotten tired of going to any event where they're not valued. So
I admit it, I got back on the dating apps. I don't know why, but it's like, if I don't do that, I'm just gonna like be a dog mom for the rest of my life, a single working dog mom. Anyway, so I got back on the dating apps and here's what I have to say. If you're hotter than me, do not swipe on me, do not heart me, okay? Because what I've realized, the hotter the guy, the more likely they are to cheat, and we ain't playing the game, so I'm dating down. I'm dating down. That's it.
I had the nerve to inbox me talking about, can I take you out for a casual day to make a friend? No. Do I look casual? Do I look like I want to be out on a casual day? I'm more of a extra type. I'm more of a over and above. Over and above.
This is so TMI and I'm so sorry for this. I most likely will take it down. Anyways, I remember being so needy one time. Cause the build up to it, like it was an extensive build up, right? I was so needy. I said, just put it in. Just like that. Just like that. I don't know how people bear me. Like at times I'm unbearable for myself. So I don't know, man. I'm just living.
Okay. I know y'all gonna hate me for saying this, but this gotta be said. Like, y'all know I be saying that stuff that don't nobody want to say. Like, but a lot of y'all, the problem with dating is a lot of y'all don't realize that your type don't like you. Like, it's not settling if your type don't like you. Like, I live out here in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to be sitting over here talking about it's settling for me to talk to a regular dude that work at the post office. It's settling for me to talk to a firefighter. It's settling for me to talk to a dude that work a regular job. It's settling because it's plenty of rich dudes out here that got a richer Millie, that got a Bentley. And it's like, if ain't none of them dudes really trying to talk to me, or if ain't none of them dudes really checking for me, then it's not settling to date somebody that's actually trying to deal with me. Like, a lot of y'all, like, you be aiming too high. Like, when it comes to dating, you gotta stay in your lane. Like, you cannot consider people to be options if they not even showing you like no type of mutual interest, man. Like, look at a person following list. Listen to the type of person that they describe. If that's not true, then you need to stop trying to shoot your shot. Like, they not gonna lower their expectations for you.
I have no kids. I've never been married.
damn.
Fatality.
Okay.
The question I have for you is, why are you 43 years old and not married?
Oh, I was
have
hustling.
never been married. I don't have kids at all.
I really wanted to do all those things. Like, I was.
Go back and watch my last video and that'll tell you why.
But like, I was really geared to getting my education. I was in the military for a long time.
So that's why you've never been married or have any kids.
I've gotten there, but really, when I bought my house in 21, that's where I was trying to establish.
And his question was, are you looking for something real?
Of course.
Okay.
I'm a grown woman. I definitely need something real in my life.
I like that. I'm liking what I'm hearing. Okay.
Damn.
Now here's the hard part.
Okay.
You have to pop one balloon.
All right.
Can I get my balloon back?
Okay, she wants her balloon back. You do have to pop one balloon.
Sorry. I think I was naturally attracted to her just right off that.
Absolutely.
So.
It's beautiful.
A lot of guys are attracted to me. It's not about attraction. It's about like connection wise, energy. So I don't think I feel safe with you anymore.
That's fine. That's fine.
You know, modern women do really know how to put a lot of stupid phrases together.
I don't think men are good people. Wait, you think that now? All men. I don't think they're good people. Why not? For men to do things that they consider small in the flesh of like cheating. You know that that's going to destroy your partner, but you do it anyway. That's not a mistake. And just because I'm a woman, I'm supposed to accept your betrayal. Right.
Have you ever cheated in a relationship?
That's exactly what I was about to ask. Yeah, I've cheated.
I am literally grinning all the time over the fact that I am a poster child for divorcing your husband and being a lesbian. And even if you aren't a lesbian, you should divorce your husband. It's the best ever. I swear, I want to lead a revolution of women who dump their husbands in honor of themselves and leading a peaceful, safe, happy, joyous life. Like, break the up with that man. Leave his ass, because you know he is only adding stress and laundry and emotional work to your life. Like, never again do I want to have to tiptoe around the bad mood of some dude.
Honestly, with this attitude, why would men want to be married to these types of women?
You're telling me that back in the day, if someone met organically that they wanted to take on a date, they would be like, all right, so meet me Friday at 7 p.m. at blah, blah, blah restaurant. And then they wouldn't speak the whole week in between because they didn't have cell phones. And then Friday at 7 p.m., they would just show up and like feel very confident that the other person was just going to be there too. Like, that is wild, but also so sweet and so nice and seems so calm. Because nowadays it's like, if you don't confirm the date before 2 p.m. the day of or the day before, there is no date. But like, literally people just used to be like, I met this guy, he asked me on a date, I'm gonna see him 5 days from now at this time that we said. Like, I guess I could call your landline just in case something like popped up and you couldn't make it anymore. But wow.
It's almost like they didn't have phones before cell phones.
There is no gender war. It's just women complaining online and men responding to it. There is no gender war. I didn't set my phone up and say, I would like to see a group of men and a group of women both go to their respective islands and see who lives better. I didn't do that. I responded to a woman who did that, while she was implying that the women would just thrive and the men would turn into like bumbling idiots. None of this. Go look at my content. It's all reaction based. This is a reaction channel. I've said it so many times. When stupid people say stupid things, I'll respond. It's content. People love it. People love reaction channels. Reaction channels are a thing everywhere, on every platform. There is no gender war. There's a bunch of unruly, complaint-ridden women who just get online, set their phone up, and say crazy shit. And then there's guys who be like, yo, y'all for real? Just go back, click this, watch the video. I was like, yo, is she serious? There's no way. It's just commentary, bro. I'm just a yapper. I've said it so many times. There is no gender war.
There's just something about men sleeping in that I can't stand.
All right, go ahead and add that one to the list.
Like, I get it, I'm the problem, whatever.
It's so refreshing to see someone that's actually self-aware that, yeah, they're the problem.
As a man, why are you still asleep?
Well, here's a thought. Maybe he's tired.
You should be outside mowing the lawn.
Just imagine the progress that could have been made on that lawn if someone else had decided to do something nice for another person, but instead they decided to make a video about them sleeping in.
So I just cannot, I don't know. Wake up. Why are you all dainty still laying in bed? Why are you still sleeping? Get up. Go clack in. Okay, go build a house. Go clean the grill. I don't know. Find something to do. Wake up.
I really don't think that some women actually want equality. Or for that matter, maybe they just don't know what it means because they want all of the privileges that come with it. But heaven forbid, they actually put in the same amount of work.
If they wanted to, they would. Except that's not necessarily true, is it? Because there are a lot of reasons why people don't. You know, fear of rejection, vulnerability, insecurity. And these are all issues I feel like that could be worked through with simple communication. People are so afraid of being vulnerable these days because somebody from the past has burnt them. And instead of working through these issues that they developed from being burnt, they stumble through life projecting on these issues onto other people and creating these dysfunctional relationships with other people. And I genuinely believe that's why I have such a hard time accepting no response as a response at times, is because there's a reason and I want to get to the bottom of it and I want to work through it because I've been there. But people are just too afraid of simple communication, which ultimately leads to this fear of commitment, is what it all boils down to. It's a hard time to date in 2025.
What did you just say about why you ordered that pasta dish?
It was your second choice, so in case you don't like your first choice, that's something you do. I didn't want you to be disappointed.
I'm 27 years old, live in Chicago, and if you've been following along, you know that I'm trying to go on 5 first dates this year, and I've only gone on 2. There's been a few hurdles in the way of getting me to that 5 because 1, I've given up on the dating apps, and 2, I'm recently not drinking, so I'm trying to navigate that. But I decided that I'm going to start going to the singles events that are offered in Chicago. I've gone to one in the past, and I actually did meet someone there who I dated for 3 weeks, and then he ghosted me. The man didn't even know he was at a singles event, so that went super well. But I am going to one this upcoming Thursday and then one next week. And these singles events truly are a glorified humiliation ritual, but I thought it would be entertaining to share with all of you. So please follow along if you want to see me embarrass myself on my journey to find my man.
I once heard somebody mention on this app that if you put a man's name on your Chipotle order, they will actually give you decent portion sizes. So this is my second time testing it out, and the results are frustrating. Man's name. Guys, she's full. She's overflowing. My little old name could never. This is both amazing and incredibly maddening.
Sorry, not to be a hater, but the male loneliness epidemic, who cares? Literally. What are you guys gonna do now? Pew up a bunch of schools? You already do that. You're gonna unalive your wife and kids? You already do that. You're gonna terrorize nations? Already do it. Start a war? Did it. Destroyed economies? Did it. Destroyed democracies? Doing it now. We're not afraid. And now you guys are just lonely and we're still not afraid. So, sorry. Male loneliness epidemic.
Fortunately, there are women that care. There's enough women out there that have good men in their lives, which are most men. Most men are good men. And honestly, that is exactly why men are not in your comment section trying to defend themselves. Because they don't need to. They would much rather leave you alone. Because there is one thing I know. Every single man out there would choose to not have an intimate relationship with a woman rather than deal with a woman like this in their lives. Unfortunately, a woman like this is not going to feel the full effect of that until 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the line. Because she holds hate in her heart for an entire gender. She has no empathy for them. This might sound harsh, but as she gets older and her outside starts to look more and more like her inside, less and less are going to be interested in interacting with her.
I have a question for the men out there. Is there any way for a woman to give you a compliment without taking it as flirting? And I mean this as a genuine question in the nicest way possible, because I'll oftentimes see a guy and I'm like, oh, he looks really nice. I like his shirt or I like his jacket. And I want to give him a compliment, but I'm hesitant because I don't want him to think I'm flirting with him. And I know that probably sounds really presumptuous on my end to even assume that he would take it that way, but you never know. Because I feel like with women, when we give each other compliments, it's something simple like, oh, I like your makeup, and that's really it. But I feel like sometimes with guys, they can misread the situation and take it as an invitation. And I'm like, no, I didn't mean anything by it. I just meant that I like your shirt. Because I think everyone should get compliments from time to time. It's nice to hear good things, you know? Did I not even say something? Or is it in the delivery? Like, what do I do? Do I just be like, hey, cool shirt, and keep it moving? Or like, what do I do? Because I don't want to give them the wrong impression. You know what I mean? Thanks.
And like a lot of these videos, men just give you the insight that you're looking for. No games, no mind reading. There it is.
I am 42 years old. I'm a single mother. And I get a lot of comments or even just out in the wild where people will be like, the reason why women, especially my age, are still single is because of our unreasonably high standards. And I don't think that they're unreasonable, but I do think and know that they are pretty high, but it's because we've been through enough in our lifetime that we already know what we want. and what we don't want. It's plain and simple.
You had to go out to a random parking lot and say that?
This might be a little controversial, but I would not have married my husband if he made me sign a prenup. And I know I'm going to have a lot of people calling me a gold digger. Trust me, I am far from that. My husband and I, we are actually in love. We've been married for almost 15 years. We have 3 beautiful children, and I also make my own money. It was actually my husband who taught me how to become my own successful, independent woman, how to get my own bag, because I believe that's what real men do. They want their woman to be the best version of themselves, and he did just that for me. But my own personal reason as to why I would never sign a prenup is because I feel like I'm ultimately jinxing my marriage at that point. Because what do you mean we are talking about, we are planning, we are anticipating, we are getting our attorneys involved about this future divorce before even walking down the aisle? That just doesn't sit right with me. At that point, I would rather just not get married. Let's just be in a relationship. For most of my life, I didn't even want to get married because, you know, childhood trauma. So if we're going to get married, if you are going to be my husband, if I am your wife, it is for life. Okay, you are stuck with me, not only in this lifetime, but probably in many lifetimes afterwards, because I'm psycho like that. My husband didn't even bring up the idea of a prenup when we got married. And while he's not as successful as he is today, he still owned his own business and he was still doing far better than most 28-year-olds. And here I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. So the fact that he didn't even bring it up to me, not once, it actually made me love him even more, because it showed me that we have the same morals and values when it comes to a marriage, when it comes to what being a husband and wife actually is. This is my own personal opinion. I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm not saying that at all. I could be completely wrong and I'm okay with that. But if you are one of the women who actually did sign a prenup, I would love to know your reasons why and how you weren't offended by that.
There was a woman in the comments that says, I'm 1000% signing one. I never want money to be a factor for someone not to leave me or for me not to want to leave.
Night, a man walked up to me at the bar, handed me a crisp $20 bill, said, "Get a drink on me," and then he walked away. To all the guys listening, this is how to do it. Give us money and then go away.
Isn't she lovely? Now, guys, would you rather date this girl or the girl before that who said that she could cook and clean and do the laundry and fold the fitted sheet? You know it's no contest. You know. This one is insufferable and gross.
So today's my birthday. And last night I stayed up till like 12:30. My boyfriend still wasn't here. I just knew he was gonna be here to bring my birthday in with me, first of all. So I was a little bit irritated about it. Okay, cool. Then he get home. Y'all, he said, first of all, he didn't call me or nothing at 12:30 and tell me happy birthday. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's about to pull up at home or something. That's the only good explanation as to why he still haven't told me happy birthday. Y'all, he come home. He still ain't told me happy birthday. He gets up early this morning. I wake up this morning. He's gone again. Still haven't told me happy birthday. Like, so I'm irritated. Like, I can't even enjoy my birthday right now because why is the person, my boyfriend, the person that I live with, why you still haven't told me happy birthday? Like, what? Like, I'm thinking I'm about to get up. He's gonna take me to breakfast or something. Like, none of that. He ain't called me saying we had no type of plans. Nothing. Granted, I didn't really plan nothing for my birthday because, I don't know, it's nothing to do. Pregnant, if you ask me. But I'm thinking he got something planned and at least tell me happy birthday. Like, is you cool? Then the killing part, I call him. I say, why did you just get up early and leave? Like, well, he like, I'm trying to make some money. Y'all, he still ain't say happy birthday, nothing. What do you mean you trying to make some money? It's my birthday. Like, what? You can at least say happy birthday, but why are you getting up early trying to go make some money on my birthday? Like, without telling me happy birthday, without nothing. Like, I'm confused. I'm confused. Any other time, I'll be cool. You talking about you about to go make some money, whatever, but it's my birthday. You still ain't said happy birthday. You talking about you went to go make some money. What?
6.5 hours later.
Whole time, y'all, We even scheduled dinner reservations and got flowers. Hold on, let me show y'all my roses. You always try to act like you forgot about my birthday.
You said that. I never said that.
You didn't tell me happy birthday though. Okay, so you knew I was gonna have something to say about that, so you was trying to play like you wasn't thinking about my birthday.
No, you was trying to. Yo, I never said. You feel me? She put that whole thing in her head.
If you don't tell me happy birthday,
y'all seen what I was
live in the same house.
You know, I was getting right, yo. I was getting her together, you know?
Yeah, he was getting me together, so he made up, but I was about to punch him.
Bro, I just want some food, yo. I'm so hungry.
No,
I've been waiting all day. Did she even show you all that Lulu and her new shoe? Bro, yo.
Yeah, he got me 3 cards. He couldn't pick, so he got me 3 cards. He got
I thought you was supposed to get
He
like
got me these cute cupcakes. I'm about to put the cupcakes in here so y'all can see it.
Yo, she talking about, yeah, I already knew when my birthday came up that I was getting some new shoes.
Yeah, that's him coded. He buys shoes for any holiday, anything. He loves shoes. So
I might start giving her ass a piece of code. No, for every holiday.
No, but he showed out, y'all. He showed out. Thank you. I love you.
Are you going to take the video down slandering him? Probably not.
What the actual is wrong with men in this generation? What do you mean I have to pick you up for the fake? What do you mean you want me to pay for the fake? The thing that I absolutely cannot stand is when I'm going to go out on a date with a guy and, you know, he pulls this phone. So where do you want to go? I don't know. You should be like, I'm picking you up at 7, wear a nice dress, we're going and doing something. What the fuck? Nowadays, all you get is a, come over, let's hang at my place. It's okay, I don't want to just, then proceeds to just you. After you clearly tell them you do not want to hook up. If you want to know why the most loyal women have turned into some of the heartless and outrageous people, just take a look at the way men have treated us. Reevaluate what you're doing, men. Let me clarify one more thing. If I wanted a man with them, I would just be a lesbian.
If I meet a guy, we start dating, we get engaged, he proposes, right? We plan a wedding, and at our wedding, it is time to cut the cake. And he even attempts to like dunk my head in that cake. All hell is gonna break loose. I would have known that and that the time that we have started dating was for no reason. Not only is that the biggest red flag, but that would ruin my entire life. Because what do you mean we spent this much money? I spent this much money on a hairstylist, a makeup artist, a dress, accessories, a veil, all of this and you want to put my head in the cake? Or think that it is cute to get cake all over your hands and like so. Oh my God, you're the biggest, and I will actually walk out, get a divorce immediately. Because what makes you think that that's okay to do to your wife? On her big day, grooms don't give a fuck wedding. That's like the wife's thing. Nah, I'd be pissed.
Women leave men simply because they're hard to manipulate. She would rather go for someone else who will let her do whatever she wants, but you hold her accountable and she doesn't like it. So the easiest thing to do is leave. One-on-one coaching in bio.
Dating bare minimums of 2025 because he texted back is no longer impressive to absolutely anyone. For one, he plans the date, doesn't just say, let's hang. You're expected to do a full glam and full face. The least this man can do is pick a time and a place, okay? For two, consistent communication without you having to beg. If he's just bad at texting has ever came out of your mouth to anyone, then he is not the one. People make time for the people that they care about, okay? Anyone can be a good texter if they want to. Anyone can switch to calling and call you instead. Anyone will make time for you if they want to. And number three, emotionally available. And not just when it's convenient for them. No need to decode how someone feels. Say how you feel and mean it. Whoa, oh my God. That is so pretty. This is the new Say blush and I'm freaking obsessed. I think I put a lot on, but like, Number 4, respecting your boundaries. If you say no, you mean no. You do not have to explain yourself, and you do not have to give anything more than just saying no to a man. And last but not least, this man better show up when he says he will. No ghosting, no rescheduling. Be a man of your freaking word.
It's just a bunch of hot air, really, honestly and truly. It's not saying anything of any substance that's going to help anybody out.
Dating over 50 story time. I messed up, so this one's on me. Let me tell you about it. And I completely own this one. I absolutely admit that this was not a good choice by me. So this is what happened. Mr. Austin guy came back into town last weekend. You know, we broke up probably like, I don't know, 6 months ago or even longer than that. The first time I'd met him was a year ago, and we dated for 3 months. And then I ended it because it was long distance. And he actually has a job that he can't come to Dallas basically ever. He doesn't have a remote job. So he lives in Austin, obviously. So he has to work a lot, and he has 2 teenage daughters. And so, I would have maybe been able to see him twice a month at the most, but more likely like once a month, because again, he just can't come here that often. So that wasn't enough for me. And so I told him, you know what? I like you a lot. He's probably the first guy that I've been with where I haven't had anxiety. He treats me well. He's very kind. He's respectful. He checks all the boxes. He's so sweet and kind, but I just don't want to do the long distance thing. And so I told him that. So we broke up, and it was really difficult. And, but I knew I was doing the right thing, because it's important to me to have my partner here, and I want to be able to see them and spend time with them. Do I need to see the person every day? Of course not. But like more than once a month, even more than twice a month. So, we kind of kept in touch a little bit, like, maybe every 3 months or 4 months, he may send me a text. I may send him a text. It was very, very, very minimal. And so anyways, about 2 weeks ago, and I will admit, I have been thinking about him a lot lately for some reason. I'm not sure exactly why. But about 2 weeks ago, he sent me a text out of the blue and said, "Hey, I'm coming to Dallas in 2 weeks. I would love to see you. It would just be kind of weird if I'm in Dallas and I don't get to see you," because his girls were going to be playing volleyball. So he's like, "I understand if you're in a relationship, obviously you won't be able to, and that's fine. I wish you the best." So then I immediately responded without even thinking about it. And I said, "Of course, I would love to see you." So we started texting a little bit, and we chatted on the phone once or twice before he came to Dallas. So then he came last Thursday, exactly a week ago from today. We went to dinner. We had a great time. The next day we went on a walk on the Katy Trail. We had coffee. It was wonderful. I actually went to one of his daughter's volleyball games, and it was fun. However, the next day, when he left on Sunday, I did get this sinking feeling of just being sad, because I knew, like, I'm starting to kind of become attached to him. And I do really like him, because like a lot of these feelings started to surface. But then I realized, but wait, he still has the same job, and he still has 2 daughters that play select volleyball. So he isn't going to get to come here. And this isn't what I want. I don't want to be with a guy who isn't here. And even though he is emotionally available, he isn't physically available, because again, he can't be here. And so, because obviously we're not in a relationship, right? We didn't really talk about anything. We didn't talk about our relationship status at all. And obviously we're not together, because, I haven't seen him in 6 months until last weekend, and I saw him like 2 times. So I decided, after talking to my therapist about it, and I decided I'm going to send him a text and say, "Listen, I just think that I don't want to pursue this, because I still feel the same way about the long distance thing. I don't want to do the long distance thing." And I wrote it in a text. I wrote it in my notes. There was a part of me that was like, I should probably call him, but I don't know. I just sent that text without calling him, and that's where I messed up. That was the emotionally unavailable part of me that shows up sometimes. Even though I've done the work on myself, it's still there, because who likes to talk about conflict? Who likes to, tell somebody you can't see them, because I know that's going to break his heart and make him sad, and it makes me sad. And so that was just emotionally lazy on my part. I sent the text, and then he responded and said, "I wish it was something we could have talked about." And immediately I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're so right. I'm so sorry. I would love to talk to you about it tonight on the phone," because I would. And I said, is that okay? And he said, sure. And then he texted me back later and said, actually, no, I can't talk tonight, because he had found out one of his family members had a bad diagnosis medically. So, he said he needed to focus on that. And I totally understand. I said, you know what? I completely understand. I'd still like to talk to you. So let me know if you're available in the next few days. If not, I get it. And so, that was that. And so he just said he'll think about it and see how he feels. And, it was really hard. And I do feel bad. And I did make a mistake. Again, I should have called him. I should have picked up the phone. I should have had the conversation with him. And I didn't, but I apologize for it. I'm never going to do that to him again. If we do end up talking again, who knows, right? But what I do know is I'm not going to continue to self-abandon like I've done in the past with other relationships. And even though this guy's a great guy, he isn't here. He isn't in Dallas. He can't see me very often. And that's not what I want. And so because I'm very intentional and, I know what I want in a partner and in my dating life, I know that he just isn't my guy right now. Maybe in a couple of years when his girls graduate from high school, if we're meant to be, our paths will cross again. But right now, that is not what I want. And so I needed to be honest with myself. I needed to be honest with him. And I was, and I feel bad, and I wish him the best. And I absolutely should have had the conversation with him, like I said, but I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'm going to have compassion for myself. I'm going to own my mistake. I'm going to learn from it, and I'm going to move on. And anyway, so leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you have ever broken up with someone on text. Not like we were together, like I said. It's not like we had a 3-month relationship and then I just broke up with him after text. Again, he didn't come in town. We hadn't seen each other for like 6 months when he just came in town this last weekend. But still, it was wrong and I shouldn't have done that. So anyways, always love hearing from y'all. So let me know what you think in the comments.
So when I say modern women can put together words and phrases, she, to be honest with you, is probably the best one yet. These modern women really know how to waste somebody's time. They sit up here and talk about these different things like, if he wanted to, he would, and then he comes out and he does, and then you're still talking about, well, I don't want that for my life. The man came to you. The man could have come into town, not said anything, posted pictures and did all of that stuff, but he said, you know what? Let me consider her and let me say, hey, I'm coming into town. And he didn't even spring it up on you. He said, hey, I'm coming into town. Wanted to know if you wanted to hang out. Yeah, sure. Came to his girls' volleyball game. Man, had a great time. The feelings that we had, fantastic. And it's not like Dallas is so far away from Austin that it's just like, oh my God, I can't get there. It's like 2.5 hours away. And it's not like when you go to Dallas, like you're just going to be putting along. No, you're going about 75, 80 at least. And if you get behind somebody, heck, if you do it yourself, you could be going about 85, 90, 95. No problems. All the way there, all the way there. If you want to. If you want to, you can. I'm not saying that you should be driving. I'm just telling you it's possible. I'm just telling you it's possible. We talk about, once again, if you wanted to, you would. If you wanted to, you would. So like I said, you use all these words and all these phrases, but really you don't want to do it. And I like what somebody in the comments said is like, you're describing everything, but it looks like he's doing all of the work. And then somebody else said, hey man, you don't have anything going on. And they didn't say it in a derogatory manner. They just said, what do you have to lose? You have chemistry with this guy. You have connection with this guy. I mean, why not try to stick with everything going on? Y'all saying y'all can't find no good men. Oh man, it's terrible. But then you get a good man and you fumble him. Y'all keep on talking about, oh man, he got me and he fumbled me. And how could he fumble a baddie like this? And then you get a good guy and you fumble him. I mean, you just let him. Oh man, that was on me because I shouldn't. And then you send a text. Y'all just had a great weekend together and you send him a text message talking about, oh, well, I guess it's just not going to be. And then on top of that, you try to downplay what you guys just experienced by saying, well, it's not like we was dating or we was doing this or whatever. This is what modern women do. They sabotage themselves. They shoot themselves in the foot. And then they wonder why they can't get a man, why they can't find love, why they can't find happily ever after. Fantastic.
I'm convinced that A, my husband just stays at home all the time, never leaves his house. Never, ever. Or he doesn't live here. There's no way he lives in the same town as me, you know what I mean?
I used to lie literally all the time, just about like random shit. I used to tell people I'm Jewish, I'm not Jewish, and it's never backfired until this summer. And then I would say since then, I've lost the art of lying ever since this happened. Because, so I was at a party. It was like summer after my senior year. Okay, so just picture it. So I'm at a party, like la la la, and this guy walks over. I never met this guy before. I don't know who this guy is. And so it being, you know, summer after senior year, everyone's always like, where are you going to school? Blah, blah, whatever. And I used to, like, during this period of time, I would lie anytime someone asked me. I would give a new school. So, like, sometimes I said Miami, sometimes I said Tulane. Like, I would just decide for the night. Me and my friend, we would decide for the night, like, what are we gonna say when people ask? And we'd always say that we're roommates, like, whatever. So this guy walks over, he's talking to us. He's like, so, like, where are you guys gonna go to school? And for that night, we decided that we were gonna say we went to UCSB, or like we were gonna go to UCSB. So we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to UCSB. Like, we're gonna be roommates, like whatever. And so he's like, oh my gosh, no way. Like, my best friend is going to UC. He brings over his best friend. So I'm not to fear. It hadn't gone too far yet. I've not, you know, sometimes it gets a little far, but you have to keep going with it. So I talked to his friend. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. Like, he's like, are you so excited? I'm like, I'm so excited. Like, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, like, I wanted to go there so bad. Like, all this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh yeah, I just got off the wait list. Whatever. So that's fine, because in my mind, I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm never going to see this guy again. I don't know who this guy is. This guy doesn't really know who I am. Like, it literally doesn't matter. Or so I thought. So one thing leads to another that night. We end up like, rah. Okay. So I end up going on a date with this guy. He ends up asking me out like probably a week later. So I'm going on a date with this guy, and I'm like, because he fully thinks I'm going to use his B, and I'm not. So I was like, I have to break it on the first date. Like, I have to tell him, like, but whatever. So we were in the car. He's like driving somewhere, and he says, like, he's talking about his roommate situation, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I mean, you have it so easy. You're like rooming with one of your best friends. And he just said it as if it was fact. And he just kept talking. I wasn't going to interrupt him and be like, actually about that. I just smile and nod. At that point, I had already smiled and nodded, though. I was like, now I have to keep it up for this whole entire date. So at the end of the night, he's like driving me back to my house, and he's like, oh my gosh, like, he's like, aren't you just like so excited? I'm like, I'm like, yes, I'm so excited. He's like, have you visited like blah, 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 which I actually been to that campus before, but so it worked out. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, like blah, blah, blah. I'm so excited. All this random stuff. He was like, this is going to be so great. Like, he's like, I could visit you like for Deltopia. You could come over here for like St. Fridays, like all this. I'm like, yeah. Like, I had already committed to it. I'm like, I can't go back. So then I'm like, okay, whatever. But we go on a second date. So I was like, I have to break it on the second date. Like, I can't keep just, whatever. It had gone on way too long. It was like, it has to be done. And so he picks me up. We go to his house. And I wasn't expecting to meet his mom necessarily, but his mom is there. And so we're like in his kitchen, we're making pizza. Okay. And so his mom walks in. And so I'm kind of like talking to his mom, and she's like, I heard you're going to UCSB. So I was like, oh yeah, like, now I'm lying the whole family. I'm like, oh yeah. She's like, you're so excited. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. Like, I'm lying. So anyway, so I ended up telling him that same night when he like drove me home. But I had to lie because I was like, I know you're like, I had to fix the lie with a lie, because I was like, well, I lied for an inappropriate amount of time. Do you know what I mean? Like, I took way too long to like break the news of the truth. So I had to lie about why I lied for so long. And basically I was like, this sounds dumb, but like, I promise you, like, it worked. Okay. So whatever. I was like, oh, by the way, like, I have to tell you something, but like, promise you're not gonna think I'm crazy. Like, it was just like, okay, whatever. So I ended up telling him that the reason that I kept lying for so long was because I had a bet going with my friends, and like every date that we went on and I continued to lie about it, each of my friends gave me $10. So I was like, you know, it was like, I'm getting paid 40, but like, that sounds, I know how that sounds. But he was like, oh, he was like, don't tell them then that you told me, like, just keep it going. Like, how would they know? And I was like, no, like, I have to tell them, whatever. So he was like in support of my, you know, whatever. But yeah, I haven't been the same liar ever since then, because it's like, I was just like, I took it way too far. But it's okay. We went on another date after that. I don't think we went on another date after that one, but the point is that it wasn't a deal breaker. We went on another one. So.
Why do men lie? Why don't they just tell the truth? I can't stand men who don't know how to stand on just grow some.
If they don't make enough money and there's financial stress, divorce. If they're working too much and they're never home, divorce. I lived that. My dad worked very hard. He traveled a lot. You know why? Because my mom liked horses and wanted to have a horse farm. But he worked too much. You can't have both. You can't. How's he gonna have the farm and the horses and all the bells and whistles and we go to horse shows and stuff, but he's home all the time? Like, what do you like expect him to win the lottery? That makes no sense. And I hate that men are put in this position where you can't win no matter what you do.
Being a successful woman doesn't mean that you don't want to be supported. That's a hard lesson that I learned in dating. I see so many relationships ruined because people are mistaking yellow flags for red flags. So red flags when someone isn't treating you well, they're not doing what they say they will, there's any sense of disrespect. Yellow flags are the ones that are more nuanced and more complicated. And so you have to start to track, is this something that's changing over time? Is there something that I'm wanting, but I'm actually not saying I want it, I'm not asking for it? The reason a lot of relationships are ruined is because women feel like, I guess this is all I get, and we start to settle, as opposed to speaking up and saying, hey, this thing is happening, it's cutting off our connection, or I'm not feeling understood. And when we start to have those conversations, the yellow flags are actually opportunities to create connection.
When y'all say this thing of I'm decentering men, I never believe you, because all of your posts somehow ends up being about a man. You don't stop talking about him.
Son, you're okay.
Just say you want a man, like it's okay. You might not want a serious relationship, but you definitely want a fling. You definitely want a one-night stand, because your whole outside experience is about finding a man. And then 2 videos later, when you don't get the attention you want, it's all about healing and decentering. You can't heal or decenter if they're always on your mind. And we know they're always on your mind. It's okay. Just stop lying to yourself and go with it. If you don't want to decenter, you don't have to. Just stop lying to yourself and others and go live your life.
I was just being honest. I am an awful driver. I drove a...
One thing that's interesting in a lot of conversations that I have with women, especially women late 30s, early 40s, or even late 30s, 50s, 60s, all the things, single women, I'm finding that they are starting to give up hope a little bit. They're starting to think, hey, maybe there's not any good men left out there. Y'all, you will never hear me say that there are not any good men left. Are they hard to find? Possibly. But when you start delving into the type of people that you're looking at, the type of relationships and dating situationships that you're entertaining, you'll realize like, hey, maybe it's not that there's not a bunch of good guys out there. Maybe it's that I'm choosing and spending my time and surrounding myself with men that don't fit into what I'm actually looking for. So let's see. Could you take a year off dating? Yes, no. Drop it in the comments and let me know. So 101 questions to ask before you get engaged. And this book is by...
I'm sitting in the grocery store parking lot, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this white flash. It's this woman getting out of a car. She has low calf boots on, chunky heel, white leather. She's got a short skirt on, nice calves, good legs, I'll give her that. She's a middle-aged woman, late middle age. She's got her hair scrunched to the max, short skirt. And then she struts her stuff. She's walking herself into Harbor Freight, and I think, ooh, girlfriend's looking for a husband in Harbor Freight, looking like that, strutting like that. But then I remember she's late middle aged, probably looking for a second husband on the prowl. She's in there about 5 minutes, comes back out, no husband. Not sure what she was looking for, but don't think she found it. Better luck next time, sis.
To this day, it blows my mind how I was a 21-year-old fresh-faced bartender working the day shift downtown in New Mexico, and a customer comes in and he asks if he can order off the breakfast menu, and I told him no. Breakfast has ended, that menu is done for, and he asks if I'll make an exception. And so he's kind of good looking, so I was like, all right, fine. Mind you, I am blonde hair, blue eyes, kind of Taylor Swifty looking at this certain time period in my life. I go to the kitchen, I checked with them, they made the exception. I tell him he can get breakfast. He orders breakfast. It's just us two in the bar. He doesn't sit at the bar, he sat at the table. I ended up, making some small talk with him, asked him where he's from. He was from England, he had a British accent. I lived in England for a small stint of time, and I go to cash him out, and I was like, oh, Tom Hiddleston, what a cool name. That's a cool last name. Yeah. So we just talked about his last name. I didn't know who he was at the time, but missed opportunity there.
Now, mind you, judging by the ring on her finger, it looks like she's married. And judging by what it says in her bio, she's a stay-at-home mom. Wow.
I just found out that half the people that buy Arya Kitia's OF movies are girls.
I don't know who that person is, but why are you shocked? Everyone is overly freaked out. You thought it was just the men? I shouldn't say everyone, but this is the highest degree of freakery, open freakery, that there has ever been in a society at any given point. Well, maybe not every society. Yeah, them folks in Greece were absolutely overly freaky. But we're up there. You thought men could carry the crown alone? No, this is a shared effort. But I'm not going to lie, I am actually a little shocked because paying for it is outrageous. That is just extreme levels of down bad. But I knew this society was overly freaky just based off of the numbers that I was hearing for these OF models. I remember a year after that Catch Me Outside girl jumped off the internet porch, people came back and said she made 50 million. I said 50 million? Do you guys mean 500,000? Because that's a lot of money. Do you guys mean like 5.5 million? 50 million? Who are these people? Who's paying in such large sums of money? Society is overly freaked. I'm not surprised. Okay? It's a concerted effort. Everyone is freaked out. Anyway, thank you for watching.
You do not need to be a bop, a mattress actress, an S worker, whatever you want to call it, right when you turn 18. Coming from somebody that's in the experiences to me, and opinions are subjective, but those are mine.